to all. This is Junuse of PWFS TV, the current chairman of Philippine Welders and Fitters Society. Today we will discuss about finding elbow takeoff. Okay, it's our pipe fitting 101. Question: how can we find the elbow takeoff? Do we have any formula or what? Alright, so we will discuss this further and with our succeeding with our succeeding slides. So this is Jun Jose, the of PWFS TV. Before I proceed, I want to shout out to our co-blogger, Kawel Tube, of Sir Ryan Isip, Rodolfo Cisneros, okay, Kaliweteng Welder, Sia Ala of Ma'am Shirley, and Utiman 2011 of Sir Noel Itum. Alright, so let's proceed. There are two types of elbow. So we have long radius elbow and short radius elbow, regardless of the degree, either 90 degree or 45 degree. Okay, so we have that radius, which is long radius and short radius. The long radius and short radius differs in their takeoff. Okay, which we will be finding out in the next slides. Alright, so let's discuss about 90 degrees elbow. Long radius 90 degrees elbow. So first we talk about the long radius 90 degrees elbow. The take out or take off, okay, of long radius 90 degree elbow is always 1.5 times the nominal size of the elbow. Okay, so let's consider the nominal size of the elbow as inch. Okay, this is true of all long radius 90 degree elbow except 1/2 inch elbows. Okay, so all sizes except 1/2 inch. Okay, the takeoff is 1.5 times the nominal size of the elbow. Right. So I have a presentation here. So this is for long radius elbow, and as you can see, we have 90 degrees, and the half of the degree is 45. Thus, and then if you can see this this distance from this center to center of the circle to the middle of the elbow is for 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 long radius elbow, okay, it's always 1.5 times the nominal size, which is the D. Okay, all right. So for long radius 90 degrees elbow, we have an example here. Okay, so to determine the take out or take off of an 8-inch long radius 90, okay, we multiply 8 times because we have the NPS, okay, nominal diameter of 8 inch. Okay, so we multiply it by 1.5, and the answer is 12. So as we can see, so from here we have 8 nominal size. Thus, our takeoff is 12 because we will just multiply it by 1.5. So 8 times 1.5, that is 4. Okay, so that is a simple example of long radius elbow takeoff. Right. Right. So for the calculation formula, okay, for the calculation formula, takeoff is equals to tangent times A over 2 times NPS times 1.5. Okay. So where TO is equals to takeoff, A is the angle of the elbow, NPS is the NPS size of the elbow. Okay, we we do it in inches. All right. So if you have a 90 degrees elbow, if your elbow is 90 degrees, of course your A is 90 over 2, right? So that is tangent 45, right? So tangent 45 is equal to 1, right? That's why 1 times NPS times 1.5. So whatever your size, okay, times 1.5 for long radius, that is your takeoff, okay? Because even though you have this formula, takeoff is equals to tangent angle over 2, okay, times NPS times 1.5. If you have a 90 degrees elbow, 90 over 2 is equals to 45, and tangent 45 is equals to 1. Right? So let's proceed further for an example of the calculation. Right. So if you can see here, we have a long radius elbow, okay, taken from the first example, okay. I'll give you an example of calculation, okay. So to find the TO, or TO is equals to the takeoff, okay, tangent A over 2 times NPS times 1.5. Our NPS is 8, okay. And then 1.5 is a what do you call this, constant, right? So TO is equals to tangent 90 times, or tangent close open parenthesis 90 over 2 times 8 times 1.5, okay? Tangent 90 over 2 is 45, which is tangent 45 is equals to 1, okay? Times 8 and then times 1.5. Thus, your takeoff is equals to 12. So this is your okay. So this is your 12, right? This is your 12. So 8 times 1.5 is equals to 12. So that is for long radius 90 degrees elbow. Okay. So it's very easy. You just memorize it. Take off for the long radius elbow 90 degrees is equals to diameter, which is this one, nominal size, which is 8 inch times 1.5. Okay, that will be 12 inch. Right? Right. Let's go and discuss about the short radius 90 degrees elbow. Okay, the takeout of short radius 90 degrees elbow is always the same as the nominal size of the elbow. So whatever the size of the elbow, okay, that will be your takeoff. Right. So how we arrive on that matter? All right. So um, I have a presentation again here for short radius elbow, okay? The first one is for long radius elbow, okay? So if we have a 90 degrees elbow, so if you divide that into half, okay? Because this is your, this one is your takeoff, okay? So take off, and then you divide that one into 290 is equals to 45. And always, this distance from here to east is always 1D. Okay? That's why it came via Pythagorean theorem. We arrived in this in that formula. Okay? So example, to determine the takeout of a 3-inch short radius 90 degrees, it has a takeout or takeoff of 3 inch. Why? Because it must the takeoff for short radius degrees 90 degrees elbow is always the same as the NPS, right? So as simple as that. Unlike the long radius, you need to multiply it by 1.5. All right. Right. So I'll give you one calculation example. Okay, so this is the formula of short radius. I give you first the formula. Okay, so takeoff is equals to tangent A over 2 times NPS times 1. Why we put it 1? Because that distance from the center to the center of the diameter of the pipe or elbow is 1d. Okay. Thus, takeoff, TO is equals to takeoff, A is equals to angle of the elbow, NPS is the NPS size of the elbow in inches. Alright, so I'll give you one calculation example. Going back to that example on the 3-inch NPS 90 degrees elbow short. Okay, short radius elbow. Okay, so TO is equals to tangent A over 2 times NPS dash 1. Okay, so takeoff is equals to tangent 90 over 2 times 3 times 1. Thus, tangent 45 is equals to 1, and then times 3 times 1. And the takeoff is equals to 3. That's why we always say that the takeoff of the short radius 90 degrees elbow is always the same as the NPS, okay, in inches. Right? Right. Next, let's proceed to 45 degrees elbow. Right. As you can see here, by Pythagorean theorem, I have given you one presentation, two presentation, one for the long radius and one for the short radius. If for the long radius, this is the one I'm telling in the 90 degrees. Okay, always from this point to the center of the elbow is always 1.5d. Okay, while in short radius elbow, okay, this point to this center of the elbow is always 1d. Okay, and this is the takeoff, this is the takeoff. So via Pythagorean theorem, TO is equals to tangent times tangent of the degrees in this area. So in this example, that is tangent 22.5. Okay, because 45 degree, the half of the 45 degree, this one is the whole 45 degree, and this is the half of the 45 degree, which is 22.5. All right, so 45 divided by 2 is equals to 22.5. All right, so that is the that is how we get from that formula. Okay, why we have that kind of formula. Okay, so in to give you some example. Okay, the calculation of formula is still the same. Okay, so TO is equals to tangent A over 2 times NPS times 1. Okay, so since we are using 45 degrees elbow, so tangent 45 over 2 times NPS times 1. Why times 1? Because we are using the short radius. Okay, all right, so the takeoff is equals to tangent 22.5 times NPS times 1. Okay, if we are looking on the by inch, okay, so tangent 22.5 is equals to 0.414 times NPS in each times 1, right? If you want a millimeter answer, okay, 0.414, that is tangent to 22.5 times 25.4 times NPS in inch times 1, okay? So, in millimeter, you always have this 10.5 times NPS in inches times 1. So, this will be your formula. So, if you're looking on inches, okay, take off inches in 45 degrees short radius elbow, okay, your formula will be 0.414 times NPS in inches times 1. Okay, if you want in millimeter, okay, takeoff is equals to 10.5 times NPS in inches times 1. Where did you get this 10.5? 10.5 came from the 0.414 times 25.4. Okay? So, where this 0.414 came from? 0.414 came from the tangent 22.5. Alright, so those are the formulas. Alright, so to give you an example of calculation, okay, if we have an NPS of 4 inch, okay, takeoff is equals to tangent 45 degrees short radius elbow. So we have tangent 45 over 2 times NPS times 1. Okay, so takeoff is equals to tangent 22.5 times NPS times 1. Thus, tangent 22.5 is equals to 0.414 times our NPS is 4 inch. 4 inch times 1 is equals to 1.65. Okay, so if we calculate the 1.65 into millimeter, okay, so we calculate it 1.65 times 25.4, your answer is 41.91. Okay, so just to check, then using your millimeter formula, if you got it from millimeter, takeoff is equals to 0.414 times 25.4 times NPS in inches times 1. Thus, 10.5 times 4 times 1 is equals to 42. Okay? If you calculate this and put it in millimeter, the millimeter of 1.65 inch is equals to 41.91, which is almost 42 millimeter. Right, so that is the formula for short radius 45 degrees elbow. Okay, all right. While in long radius 45 degrees elbow, okay, the calculation formula is still the same. The only difference is the constant, okay, which is the 1.5. Since long radius, we always multiply it by 1.5. So takeoff is equal to tangent of 45 over 2 times NPS times 1.5. So tangent 45 over 2 is equal to tangent 22.5 times NPS times 1.5. If you want an inch, okay, takeoff is equal to 0.414. 0.414 came from the tangent 22.5 times NPS, okay, times in inch times 1.5. Okay, and then same to translate it into millimeter, 0.414 times 25.4 times NPS in inches times 1.5. Thus, the formula of takeoff in millimeter is 10.5 times NPS in inches times 1.5. Right? All right, so to give you some calculation sample for long radius 45 degrees elbow, okay, if we have an NPS of 4 inch, okay, so takeoff is equals to tangent 45 over 2 times NPS times 1.5. We use 1.5 because we use on the long, because it is a long radius, okay, so takeoff is equals to tangent 22.5 times NPS times 1.5. Tangent 22.5 is equals to 0.414. NPS equals to 4 times 4 inch times 1.5 is equals to 2.48 inch. Okay, so if you want a millimeter, okay, so this is the formula. Takeoff is equals to 0.414 times 25.4 times NPS in inches times 1.5. Thus, your takeoff for millimeter is equals to 10.5. 10.5 came from 0.414 times 25.4, okay, times 4 inch from that NPS times 1.5 is equals to 63. All right, so this 63, if you will multiply this 2.48 times 25.4, your answer is equals to 62.992. Okay, thus if you use this formula, your answer will be 63. It's almost 63 mm. Alright, so that is the simple calculation of long radius 45 degree. Alright, so we also have some example of this takeoff table, okay, taken from the internet actually. Okay, so normally this is the easiest way. Okay, so we have this long radius elbow and we have this short radius elbow. Okay, use this elbow also. Okay, 45 degree elbow, but using I think the long radius. Okay, so they have A here, A, B, B, C, and C. Okay, so if you want to look on the takeoff of 4 inch, okay, So you have for a long radius, okay, you have a 152, okay, 152 millimeter, okay, and for the short radius, you will have a 102 millimeter, okay. Okay, and for the elbow, it's 64. Okay, so it's long radius. When we calculated earlier, it's 63.9. Okay, 63. I mean, okay. So there's almost they are almost the same. Okay. All right, so this is the easiest way. If you have the takeoff table, that is the best way. However, if you don't have, you can calculate it. You can calculate it by that formula. All right. So that's all for today. I hope you learned some from us. Okay. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video, and like this video. Okay, and share to your friends. Okay. So thank you very much. This is Inhces, the current chairman of Philippine Welders and Fitters Society Incorporated, and PWFS TV, the YouTube channel of Philippine Welders and Fitters Society Incorporated. Thank you very much. Good day.